Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
And welcome back to Marvel Mania. It's day 4. Today we are tackling
dawned.
another unreleased Marvel movie. This one not released at all.
No, never released in any way.
The two movies we can see, and not even the version we're looking at is not released because it wasn't released. So we're looking at an awful transfer on YouTube. It's the same one I did when I did a commentary on this with Duke. And anyway, back to back, the two unreleased Marvel movies that we considered not doing on this on this program, but we are knocking them out. So once again, this is going to be kind of irritating because we don't have subtitles. Or do we? We turned on the YouTube closed captioning, which used to be just the worst thing ever, and as I was skipping around to see if it was lining up with any of the dialogue at all, some of it sort of is, so we're going to use it because it might be amusing. It might be educational, it might actually inform it, and it might also just be hysterical. When we have nothing else to talk about, we might just read some of the amusing closed captions.
And this, I believe, is the last of these that I've not seen.
Yeah.
Unless you count Electra.
If we do Man-Thing...
Yeah, well, neither of us will have seen
because a lot of folks have been mentioning Man-Thing, and that's another...
We looked it up, and it might
movie that was apparently kind of meant to be put in the theaters, and was also, like Captain America, released in a couple of countries.
Yeah.
So that one we actually probably will have to do when we get to it, and that'll be one that neither of us, as we said, have seen. Yeah. So anyway, Roger Corman's 1994 Fantastic Four. This is, of course, kind of this is one of those, like you said before, like elusive movies that a lot of people...
It's like the Star Wars Christmas special.
You would never be able to see, and now
it's
a lot of us have seen it.
And that's part of why I never saw it, was like, I've seen clips and stuff when people do reviews and whatnot. So like, I've seen parts of this movie, and like, seeing parts, I was like, I don't need to watch it.
You know what it looks like.
Yeah.
You know what the production values were like.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we'll probably never have a good transfer of this.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day.
It's great that Captain America,
I'm
1990
sure
Captain America had a great transfer.
There is some kind of legal hang-up with this movie that they can't release it. I'm sure there's got to be something.
Yeah. I imagine so. There's a documentary about that now that I've not seen.
There is. Is it out?
I think it's out, or...
We should watch that.
Or maybe I just saw a trailer a while back and it hasn't been released yet.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Because we're now doing a documentary on every superhero movie that almost got made, or never got made,
That's right.
I guess didn't get released in this case. We're doing one for that Justice League movie that doesn't need one.
There's not enough information.
There's
on
not.
that.
I mean, there's the whole script. You can go read it. But it's not a... Like, if you've read that script, it is not a giant, like, oh, what a missed opportunity. It's because Fury Road came out, and that was the same director. You read that script. It wasn't going to be Mad Max Justice League.
Yeah.
It would have been an interesting movie, but I don't know if you know the whole documentary about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly an interesting study that it was cast and nearly happened. But this and Death Superman Lives, you know,
both of those makes
perfect sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, so today we're not eating anything. We just got finished going to Pie 5. So I suppose today's episode is sponsored by our having eaten at Pie 5, and I'm drinking some water, but that's about it.
Anything.
It's the same. Okay, well, hopefully you don't find yourself eating any lubrication while we're in the middle of this, but you can have some of my water. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into this, and if you want to watch it with us, I will try to remember to put the link to this YouTube video with the movie in the description. You can watch this along with us, and if you have a better transfer, please tell me where you got it. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now! Dun dun dun!
The Fantastic Four. I'm glad it's
the Fantastic
right
Four.
Up front. Yeah, it's true. It is the...
It is nice that the title is slightly differentiated from the rest of it. Yeah. For some reason, these subtitles say yeah a lot. Okay, we're going to try not to talk exclusively about the subtitles.
This is kind of cool looking. For like 1984?
Jay Underwood.
1982?
The alternate universe son of Francis Underwood.
Oh, this is recorded off of VHS.
Yes, it was.
Was that Rebecca Stab?
Yeah. It's like, or maybe it's Staub. It's like Sob. S-A-A-B. It's like, wow, I'm just flinging water everywhere.
Ian Trigger!
Trigger! That's a good last name.
It is a good last name.
That's a good, like... We should consider that for our science fiction book project.
Yep.
Trying to come. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric and I are working on a book together, and we were trying to come up with really snappy action hero names. Trigger.
It's pretty good.
I don't know. We should think about that. It's pretty good. We're getting ideas from the Roger Corman Fantastic Four.
Glenn Garland is related to Judy Garland at all.
I don't know.
McStrawn. Hey, it's Cybertron.
That's like foreshadowing because there's fire, or what looks like fire.
Yeah.
Dun dun!
Mr. Film.
Special effects by Mr. Film. I keep calling up Mr. Film, trying to get him to make things for me, and also I tried to get my optic nerve to make makeup effects for Spawn Year, but it wasn't having it.
Music by David.
And Eric. I didn't know you did the music of this movie.
I'm a man of many talents.
So of course everybody always calls this the Roger Corman Fantastic Four, but he did not direct this movie.
He just produced it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a thing that he does.
You know, it's sort of like Michael Bay Ninja Turtles.
Which, really, you could call The Punisher Roger Corman's The Punisher, because that's New World Entertainment.
Yeah, and nobody refers to it that way.
Nope.
It is... I don't want to say it's infamous like this is, but that's a movie that's not fondly remembered and thought of as, you know, a $1.25 kind of movie.
The subtitles are way off!
I think maybe we should turn these subtitles off. I don't know if we can handle... And that's going to be real distracting, Aaron.
The machine's been started. It's already been bred. The machine can't be stopped.
Well, the mouse is right there. Well, I never ever thought
you'd be watching this again.
I would be watching this again or doing another commentary on this movie. But here we are.
I don't know, I'm excited. I never got to see this.
This and Fan-Fortastic begin in a classroom.
Yeah. About as coherently. He's not a bad Reed Richards.
I don't know. This isn't especially incoherent or anything.
He was well cast.
And both of them at the beginning have already worked out some kind of a machine that will lead to their getting superpowers.
There is kind of a quaintness and like I don't know. There's something nice about going back to stuff like this where it's like really cheesy superhero stuff. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
We take ourselves so seriously these days.
Yeah.
I kind of miss real cheesy superhero stuff. I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, I don't want it, but going back to it it makes it okay.
I don't know. I think you could do it every now and again with the right thing.
Like the Fantastic Four.
Like the Fantastic Four. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Oh man, is that Dr. Doom?
That's Dr. Doom.
He looks just like the new Dr. Doom.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. Yeah, or like a cross between that guy and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the hair.
Yeah.
It's that jet black hair. It looks like they've worked really hard to get his hair to look like that.
Reed Richards.
I don't know why.
Should obviously be being played by Jeffrey Combs.
Sure.
In this film.
And it would be
this
great
should be Jeffrey
to
Combs.
have them in that scene because he also played Proto-Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
In Dr. Mordred.
Is it George Lucas?
The first film in what will become our series.
Yeah, okay.
When we get to Dr. Mordred 2. Mrs. Storm's boarding house.
Students are welcome. If you're not a student, get out.
So, to the point I made yesterday with Captain America, I don't think this would feel as early to me if we just had a decent transfer. But for some reason, with this, you know, grainier quality and off VHS tape, it's really hard not to look at this and feel like I'm looking at something from 1987, 1988, or even a little bit earlier. This is 1994. This is the same year The Mask came out. This is a year before Batman Forever. Like,
It looks real like
It doesn't look like a 90s movie to me.
Hallmark movie.
You think?
Yeah, like 90s Hallmark movie is what I think it looks like. I don't think it doesn't look like the 90s. This is the 90s. I mean, look how everybody's dressed.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't look like the 80s
to me. I don't know.
I think the film quality feels 80s, and like some of the special effects I've already seen feel 80s. But this is the 90s.
Are you listening to this flute in the score? For a second there, it was almost Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Na 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 na.
I think you're just obsessed with Jurassic Park.
Na, 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 na. And it's 1994. But I was getting hints of Jurassic Park then.
Whoa.
So, why is he, at the beginning, looking at plans for a thing he's built already? You would think that he's, like, getting ready to build it. No, it's built already.
He's longingly reminiscing about all the fun that they had building it?
It's hard not to watch that scene and think that what he's doing is going, wow, weirdly, this professor is talking about exactly what I built. Or maybe he's like looking at his plans and trying to decide if he can use it in conjunction with the astronomical event that the professor's talking about.
Yeah.
Because he probably built it not knowing that was about to happen. So that makes sense.
So it's interesting. This makes 3 Fantastic Four films that ties Doctor Doom to the origin of the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
That's a thing that we think should work and has yet to work.
For some reason, we have to do it every time.
Yep. Well, it's because no one seems to know any villain other than Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
When they make a Fantastic Four movie.
But why does he have to be tied to it? Why can't he come in later? Like,
yeah.
Just because he's the villain of the film doesn't like. You know, I never thought of this. It might be our trying too hard to fit Fantastic Four into the standard superhero mold, and it isn't exactly that.
No, it's not.
And so, Doctor Doom does not have to be the opposite side of the coin of the entire team, which is kind of what we're doing with him.
Yeah.
Maybe what would make a little bit more sense, or maybe what somebody should try, although this is possibly way too many characters in a movie. This is probably a really stupid idea. I was going to say, like, the Sinister Six for the Fantastic Four, so you give every Fantastic Four character...
they have the Frightful Four.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing.
You could do that.
Sandman's on that team. It's Sandman, Medusa, and... Man, I wish Fox had the rights to the Inhumans.
There's a Medusa that's not the that's the Inhuman Medusa. So she was a villain at one time, and then she becomes the leader of the Inhumans.
Yeah, we retcon it later.
She's
still
not
in the Stan Lee.
She's
stuff.
not like Emma Frost.
No, it's when Stan Lee introduces the Inhumans, he goes back retroactively and says that Medusa was one of them.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. And then
I know so little about the Inhumans, I did not even know that Stan Lee had anything to do with that.
Oh yeah, no, him and Jack Kirby create them.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think of who the other two are.
I don't feel as bad then about how hard we're trying to make them a mainstream thing now, just because
I didn't
realize they go back that far.
Oh yeah, no, they come from the Lee and Kirby Fantastic Four.
I mean, just because it goes back that far doesn't mean it has as much merit as other things.
But it is really weird.
That's nothing against people that love the Inhumans. I have not been able to work up any excitement for that.
Well, and everything we're doing with them is not Inhumans; it's X-Men.
Yeah. So I don't understand what Inhumans is in the first place.
It's kind of weird that Fox doesn't have the right to the Inhumans.
He sounds like Professor X in the Fox X-Men cartoon.
Yeah.
Ah!
So wait, they don't even go into space? That's how they get their powers? Is that how they get their powers?
I think they go into space. Honestly, I can never remember anything in this movie.
He got zapped by lightning from the cosmic event or whatever.
I have seen this not too long ago with Duke, and I still have a hard time remembering everything that happens in him.
He looks like he's about to become...
Of course, it's been forever. Yeah, he does kind of look like the whole... It's been forever since I've watched this and not been talking while I was watching it. I have that problem more than most.
Man, you took a while to get to that.
Let me examine your face for a lengthy amount of time.
I wish he was just in like a full cast.
he's admiring the makeup job done by Optic Nerve.
It burns.
The score is hilarious.
Yeah.
Just because you think someone is dead does not mean you need funeral music. Seriously, it's like we're in a mortuary, not a hospital.
Yeah. Downstairs to be what?
It sounded like molded, but that can't be what he said. This, like, as far as production quality and stuff, it is kind of on par with that Captain America movie, I think.
And it would probably look even more so that if it was a good transfer.
Right.
So...
And, of course, we know how rushed this was. And
yeah.
How quick and thrown together it was.
So... Who's downstairs? Is that Doom?
It's Doom.
Oh, okay.
They must save him.
Normal may be too late.
Mm-hmm. That's what the subtitles say. Yeah. Because normal may be too late. Oh, look, we did a big time jump like we do in Fan-Fantastic, except it's not exactly at the halfway point.
Are they the Fantastic Four now?
That's the Baxter Building.
Oh, so they are not... So Doom is not tied to their origin.
Yeah, I guess he's not.
That's nice. Point one for this over both of the theatrically released Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah, I'm feeling self-conscious about this. I do not remember very much about this movie. We said we'd watch them. That's what we said we'd do. Johnny Storm in this is obnoxious and hilarious.
That's all Johnny Storms, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a Johnny Storm of a different color.
Oh man, you went great real fast.
Yeah.
Also,
he's got
not tied to space or transformation. Point two for this over both theatrical adaptations.
That's right. He just got older. Listen to Jurassic Park. Not right now. It was Jurassic Park.
They do move in herds.
They do move in herds.
I want that to be the end of a terrible like commercial.
Yeah. Or the end of a TV episode, like a sitcom.
Yeah.
Where you get the freeze frame and then it gives you the credits over it. But I'm done.
They will never forgive you.
That is a really tall Ben Grimm.
Which is nice.
Yeah. And there's Johnny Storm.
Oh yeah. He's a skateboard kid.
Yep. And he overacts his way through this whole movie.
Well, he's probably a professional skateboarder.
Duke and I said this in our commentary, and if you want to listen to a commentary that's more actually about this movie and has some insights and things, listen to that one. But we talked
Did you
about
do research and stuff.
He knows a lot about this movie.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just here to facilitate other people who have like knowledge and insight and stuff. I'm the host. We don't need to know anything. We just moderate. But anyway, no, we were talking about how this is easily the most faithful to the comics of the Fantastic Four movies, and was not released. And a lot of people think it would have been a real travesty to have this in the theater, and it might have set back superhero movies and all of that. But I think, we said this with Captain America, I think even if that had been released, it would have been immediately forgotten.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have necessarily been a nail in the superhero movie
I think this film
coffin.
is almost more remembered because it was not released.
Absolutely it is, yeah. So I just wonder if that would have happened with this, or if because it's so silly. Like, the big thing you have to give this is that it does try to go just full tilt comic book. And I have to kind of admire it for that. Like, it's not trying to be the realistic Fantastic Four movie.
Right. Which is a real problem that the 2000s one has, is it can't decide.
Yeah.
It's a silly, wacky thing, except for when they want to be realistic.
Yeah, it cannot find
Who's
a blend
that guy?
of those tones.
Is that Mole Man?
Okay, so that's the guy who was supposed to be Mole Man, and for some reason they weren't able to make him Mole Man, and nobody is really sure why. That might be in that documentary, I don't know.
Interesting.
But I forget what he's called.
Is he the Underminer?
We made the same joke, I think.
He is beneath them, but nothing is beneath him.
Nothing is beneath me! No, he's the jeweler, I think?
Oh, of course.
And that is, what's her face? The blind girlfriend.
Yeah. Do you know the thing about her and Sue Storm and why everything is creepy? Okay.
Maybe.
So, I forget what her name is, but in the comics, she
Alicia Masters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alicia Masters looks exactly like Sue Storm.
That's right. Yeah. Yes, I do know that.
And then Johnny marries her later.
And that's another thing Duke and I talked about. Nothing new here today on Geekvolution.
I guess I'm just not as good as Duke.
The real mania is that we're saying all the things you've heard before and you're still watching. That's the real mania.
You don't know that. Don't assume.
Don't assume what?
That they're still watching.
Oh, sorry about that, folks. But if you've heard that, you're still watching. I also can't assume that people watching this listen to the other commentary. Certainly.
I haven't, but I'm going to now.
Yeah, Duke has a lot of really interesting things to say on that. He's a big Fantastic Four fan.
Someone has to be. So is Rasco, but Rasco doesn't read comics, so I don't know how he's a Fantastic Four fan.
No, the real question is how is Rasco an Inhumans fan?
That too.
It's not like he's never read comics. Why do the subtitles think it says yeah when no one is talking?
Yeah.
This movie tries to kind of be about outcasts and people who've been thrown away. And so we'll have a parallel with him and the Thing later. Where they
that
try
guy
to make
looks
them
not
spirits.
not the Mole Man guy, but the guy that was behind him.
Yeah.
He looks a lot like that famous picture of the sad clown.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's intentional. So...
And that's Russian Chuck Norris. That's what I'm going to call that guy.
So... No.
Wait. As they're saying no, the subtitles are still saying yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, real?
What's that?
So, are we going to get to the Fantastic Four in our Fantastic Four movie?
We will eventually get to...
We're setting up a lot of stuff right now.
What does orange kryptonite do, Eric?
Is that not in Smallville? Do we not get orange kryptonite?
No, we do not get orange kryptonite.
I mean, we can Google it. I'm sure it does something. It exists. There's pink kryptonite. There's surely orange kryptonite.
That's probably the one we didn't have. There's probably plaid kryptonite, and there's not orange kryptonite.
It makes Superman greedy.
Sure.
Orange Lantern, avarice.
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking, like, no, the green with envy. Oh, you're talking about the spectrum with the lanterns.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm real slow on the uptake today, apparently.
That was one.
Colossus, tell the world. Check. Na.
What is he standing in front of?
They do move.
Is it the world? Is it like a map?
He needs a cool sci-fi backdrop to make a speech.
But what is it?
I don't know. He needs some futuristic mechanical thing to stand in front of while he makes his speech, Eric.
And you're going to go, and there, but... No other takes? You could not get another take on that line.
We got a lot of work of it ahead of us.
Ooh. Lasers. That'll protect it. But not from the jeweler!
You know, I'm wondering if at some point we might finally get the secret of the ooze, Eric. I think that could be in this movie. They are pulling lots of comic stuff.
Yeah.
She's doing her pottery.
It's interesting that she's not the Puppet Master's daughter. You would think with everything else they're throwing in here, they'd throw that in too.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm learning a lot today.
I know that because I had the origin episode of the Fantastic Four 90s cartoon on tape when I was a kid, so I've seen it many times.
Oh, okay.
We should watch that.
Sure.
I don't believe it's the first episode. They're on a talk show and they're telling the story of their origin.
That's funny because they kind of do that with the Tick, except it's just a framing device.
Yeah. And the Puppet Master is the villain of that episode.
They're playing him as hilariously tragic.
No, I think he's tragically
like
tragic.
It's supposed to be set. Yeah, but it's just really funny how super melodramatic it is. And I mean, like, everything else is really melodramatic too, but just that feels like it's in somewhat of a different vein.
I like this. I mean, I can't understand what he's saying. He's like Bane.
Yeah.
But I like how we're shooting it. It's a cool way to build to it.
Oh, you mean
it's
where
better
you just
than,
see like a piece
I
of
have
the
a mask, therefore I shall wear a mask.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get it? It's, I have this mask. That's gonna be important later.
Somehow or rather, the Latvians knew I was gonna become a supervillain, and they gave me this mask.
They're real wise, those Latvians.
Yeah. Like, he's real cunning. I kind of like the jeweler theme.
The lasers, they look like they're making like a pentagram. Is that Doctor Strange tie-in? Is that...
It's not a pentagram. It's just a whole bunch of lines going across.
It's the seal of Orichalcos. Don't laugh. You don't know what that joke is. You don't know what I'm referencing.
That's not what I'm laughing at.
Yu-Gi-Oh joke. For all the Yu-Gi-Oh fans that watch this channel. How did Doom get the cameras in there?
Dr. Doom is a lot like Batman.
That's true. He is a lot like Batman.
He's Dr. Doom. That's the answer.
Yeah, if Batman knew magic, they'd be the exact same character.
I can never keep track of what Dr. Doom's able to do.
Magic, science.
Yeah. And there you go. He never really has limitations. He's Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes that works.
That man made that Nika ha ha.
He made that
15
Nika
valuable
ha.
bread. 15 valuable bread. I don't know what you're saying. You don't look that bad, but I don't know what you're saying.
That's one of the biggest problems with this movie, is that we do not go back and overdub the voice.
Which is funny, because when we got that sneak peek of Dark Knight Rises, they did the exact same thing. And they had to go back and overdub the voice.
I thought they just changed the voice.
I never saw it.
I'm pretty sure it was ADR in the first place. I didn't watch it either, because I didn't want it to be spoiled.
I was always under the impression, at least from what people told me, that it was
his
him
voice under the mask.
This, yeah.
I don't think it was.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Or it might have been him still having the mask on and ADRing it. I don't know.
That'd be really funny. Is that Sonic Screwdriver?
Now, you can understand him better in that scene we just had than you're able to later, where it's also mic'd really poorly.
Oh.
So, like, the mic is too far away from him, and he's wearing the mask, and it's really super muffled, and it just sounds like he's asking you if you want fries with that.
This looks like a 70s Godzilla movie.
You are adding fuel to my fire, sir.
It's really motoring.
Oh, the thing is called Colossus. The subtitles actually got that right earlier. I forgot about that.
Motoring!
Motoring! I used to know some more of the lyrics of that song.
No fight for flight.
There you go.
For finding
Mr. Right!
That's all I know of that song. And we're done with motoring. We have finished the motoring portion of this commentary.
That's right. We're going to move on now to Colossus. My family! Susan, you got one job!
Activating the antenna?
Mm-hmm. It's not stupid, though. They kind of need that. They kind of need to do that.
I don't know what year Apollo 11 comes out. It's not 11. Apollo 13. Apollo 11 was a more recent film.
It's Apollo 13.
Apollo 13. But I'm pretty sure this comes out right around Apollo 13.
Mm-hmm.
Or this doesn't come out right around Apollo 13.
Yeah, it doesn't actually come out, Eric.
That'd be real embarrassing. Oh, my God, it's full of stars. Oh, we are doing that. We are just doing 2001, but without the budget. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if this is less white and filling up the entire screen with a better transfer.
Did the Shaw Brothers bring us this? That's kind of what their logo looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. The coming of Omnipotence.
Oh, so they're all going to be Star Childs. I see. I get it.
Star Childs, even.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't be. They're not Star Children. That doesn't make sense. Star Childs.
I think I don't know what you're talking about right now.
That's what happens at the end of 2001. Is becomes a Star Child.
Oh, is that what they call that? Yeah. I like that.
Ooh, he's got a cool throne room.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It reminds me of the Master of the Universe throne room.
Yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
I don't know what happened.
He sounds like he's in massive pain at the end of that scene. Like he's just laughing maniacally, and then all of a sudden he goes, ah! Or, if portrayed by the actor who played Professor X in X-Men,
he's moving with no expediency. He is just slowly walking, being like, Johnny!
Susan! Good night, Susan.
That
Good
looks
night,
like that
Johnny.
might be real flames.
Yeah, I mean, that's on fire.
That's nice. We don't do that in movies anymore. It's nice to see something on fire.
I think if it's just outside like this, where you just set one thing on fire, it would be on fire.
I don't know, man.
And we don't do fake fire.
I feel like
You're saying we never do practical fire?
We almost never do practical fire.
That's not true.
Anymore.
That's not true. In a big action scene, we often will not do practical fire. But if somebody just walking around like that, you are not right about that.
I don't know.
It's not like
it's not like movie against all modern film.
Are you grasping at straws, or are you like impressed and it's unwarranted?
It's closer to the latter.
Okay, all right. Well, that's better than the last time the latter was, I'm an idiot. It's probably more like the latter, Captain Logan. You're an idiot.
I don't know if that was on recording.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Okay.
Look at you!
I don't know what I'm supposed to gain from scared, excited.
Yay!
Huh?
I got out of this and I'm a lunatic!
I saw Hey Reba in the subtitles.
Hey Reba, don't make it bad. He's the comic relief, Eric. Look, are you impressed? It's practical fire.
I am impressed. Sue, where are you? Sue!
She's the invisible girl, Eric. She's invisible.
Sue, let me in.
And they are doing the same thing that the Tim Story Fantastic Four does, where he's not the Thing right away.
Yeah.
That's not a comic book. Comic book, he comes out of that as a rock creature.
Well, actually, he comes out as a dinosaur-looking creature, and then slowly we develop the rock thing over. Kirby's art style changes for the Thing over the first couple issues.
I forgot about that. But I'm just saying he's
just being annoyingly correcting.
No, that's cool. I'm just here to facilitate you were being annoyingly correcting. It's no problem.
That didn't look so bad. Now, as long as we keep his powers always, like, obscured.
Yeah, but it'll look great. Real silly later.
Or it won't look great, but it'll look fine. I've also seen...
These spacesuits are pretty silly, though.
Yeah.
Because they're just so bunched up.
Yeah.
They don't need to be that bunched up, so it looks like they're just wearing aluminum foil.
I know how this movie ends. I don't know if I've ever seen a clip or if I've only seen like a still picture. But I know that it ends with them leaving and his hand out of the car waving.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. Ooh. Look how atmospheric
silhouette.
it is.
Ooh.
It's 4 men together.
One of them is a girl.
4 people together.
It would have been really funny if that shot was 3 silhouettes with like one missing, but he's got an arm around nothing. That would have been pretty great.
That would have been pretty great.
And then they just play it as dramatic and atmospheric as they tried to play it. Eric, that campfire is real. Are you impressed? It's an actual campfire.
Well, no. We do campfires.
Okay, but how is that any different than taking a box and setting it on fire and having it on the side
I just feel like we don't do fires. I guarantee you.
We do see a lot of fake fire in movies.
If you remade Ninja Turtles today, the original, the 90s film, when they're around the campfire, that's an entirely CG fire.
Oh, no, that would be, sure. But that would be a mostly CG movie. So...
I could have gotten this role.
Yes. Anyone you know that isn't just too horribly understated. Anybody that gets kind of wild if they've drank too much. You can't tell me that guy's not drinking all the time on
The
set.
subtitle said, Johnny, don't be an explanation.
I don't know that for sure. That's probably not true. But he sure seems like he's just drinking all the time.
Well, from what I understand of the Precious movie, none of these people know that they're making a bad movie.
No, they don't.
They think they're going to make a movie that's going to go to theaters and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is certainly trying.
Wait, shouldn't Johnny be angry at Ben because nothing happened to him? He's like, I'm a blowtorch, she's visible, you're stretchy. He's fine.
Yeah, just jealous of him. That's fake fire. Are you impressed with that fire, Eric?
It kind of looks like about what I would expect on like Hercules' Legendary Journeys.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's worse than that.
You think it's worse than
I think it's a little worse than that. Yeah, because
I can't
that
tell because of
element...
the transfer.
Some of it's the transfer, but
I might be giving a little bit
but
too
I think
much
I can tell that element doesn't look like it's integrated well enough.
Mm.
And it's weirdly pixelated. That's the big thing.
Wouldn't they have taken those spacesuits off?
Yeah, do they need them for warmth?
Well, they got a fire. A real fire. I think he said arise. Oh, alive. What do you mean alive?
I love this Doctor Doom. And again, he is the closest thing to actual Doctor Doom.
He is the only time he's allowed to be an actual, like, ruler of Latveria.
Yeah.
We will not do that in film for some reason.
And even attempting to give him any kind of gravitas.
Yeah.
And giving him his, obsession with power and his megalomania and... Why do we not want to have the Grand Doctor Doom in a movie? Why wouldn't you want that?
I mean, just make him Darth Vader, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And Doctor Doom is somewhat of an inspiration for Darth Vader, so full circle.
Don't you think you're making a Fantastic Four movie and you're looking at Marvel and you're saying... One of the big things people complain about all the time with Marvel Studios films is that there aren't enough memorable villains.
Yep. We can make a really memorable villain.
Yeah. And we can make that half the reason you went and saw the movie and you enjoyed it.
Yep. He didn't even knock. He just went in. And they opened the box for her. He's being really presumptuous.
He doesn't think she can do anything for herself because she's blind.
He's real creepy.
It's just the transfer. He's actually not weird at all.
Oh, okay.
But if you if you saw the actual, it's a spooky mustache when it's blurry.
Yeah.
It's a blurry, spooky mustache.
Yeah, sure.
Excuse me.
Did you hear the cats?
Yeah, there's cats.
Why are there cats?
Because they're in an alleyway.
Oh.
Or they're underground.
Sure. I think
there's all these
I think it's
cats
shown in an
underground.
alleyway, and that Star Wars wipes to underground.
Oh yeah, okay. I couldn't really tell it was the transfer. I'm just gonna use that as my explanation for everything. It's the transfer. You know what's interesting? This is that the Such Things as Dreams Are Made Of is the line at the end of the trailer.
Oh really?
Yeah. The trailer's great. This is one of the first superhero movies. It's interesting as it wasn't released with 2 villains.
Yeah, this would have been right after Returns.
Returns, yeah. So that's not a trope yet.
I don't know if it ever really becomes a trope. Like the Batman movies do it.
And Spider-Man does it.
Only once. Only in 3.
Spider-Man 3 does it, yeah.
I don't think it's as tropey as we think it is.
Yeah. And Superman 2 does it, but it's subtle about it.
Yeah, and obviously the Nolan films do it.
Yeah.
Because the first... Well, I guess if you count Talia as an equal antagonist to Bane...
No, you're right. It is
too.
mostly the Batman movies, but... It's hard not to think of it as a big trope, just because the Batman movies are most of the superhero movies in the 90s.
Yeah.
Because that gets real formulaic, where you have to kill one and keep the other one alive.
And there's always one that already exists, and one that gets created during the movie.
Yeah, except for Returns.
No.
Well, Penguin
already
exists, but
yeah.
he's not full-fledged. Like, he's the Penguin, but he hasn't been doing anything.
Well, no,
like,
but he already has his plan.
No, that's true, but after that, it's like established villains that people know already.
Well...
And Ra's al Ghul is even kind of that way.
I mean, Mr. Freeze is... Like, he shows up and he's like, there's a new villain in town. He's calling himself Mr. Freeze.
Well, that's true. Okay.
Back to this movie.
Well, yeah, so now we're kind of quibbling over semantics.
But yeah, the Two-Face, everybody already knows. Because Batman went to the courtroom in full costume. I can't wait till we get to that movie and this. Oh, wait.
I kind of like this idea that the jeweler wants to be kind of what Doctor Doom is.
Yeah.
That's a thing I hadn't really thought about until now, unless that's in the rewind and I don't remember what I wrote. Because that might be there.
Is that the Pied Piper?
I want to say Duke said the same thing. But I'm not sure. But I thought that too. Like, no, I'm just saying, that's the first place your mind goes.
I guess just have Duke do the rest of these movies with you.
Well, that's gonna happen.
But I get to fan Four Stick before he does.
That's true.
So
yeah,
I'll get to make all the jokes ahead of him.
I can never say it that way.
Fan Four
Stick? Yeah. Fan Four Stick it, Duke. I'm just kidding.
Well, because that's be Fan Four Stick because it's Fant-astic, so it's Fan Four Stick.
I'm not having this argument with anyone again.
Why?
Because I still think Fan-Fantastic makes more sense.
But that's not how it's written.
Yeah. I'm not looking at it right now.
I can grab it off the shelf. It's somewhere here. Probably in the Fs. Maybe in the 4s. Where you guys been?
And he's just the thing now. Go eat with my crew. Wow, thank you.
This doesn't look like the worst. Am I wrong?
No, the mouth will get crazy, It doesn't look so... This is what's weird about it. It doesn't look so bad in close-up. It's when you back off of it and he's so small. He's just not bulked up enough.
The lips are really Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And they move a little bit too much. But, like, I just mean, like, overall, this isn't terrible looking. It's only a little worse than what we get in 2004.
Yeah. They went far enough to try to have those kind of animatronics. I mean, granted, this is 4 years after Ninja Turtles, so we've perfected that more, but he just doesn't look big enough. I mean, that's the main part. And you can kind of see
in
where the head breaks.
Yeah. How often do you have prosthetics that only look good in close-up?
Isn't that strange? Yeah, you never see that.
And he's got the brow, which immediately makes him more accurate than the Tim Story one.
That's right.
0.3 for this movie over the theatrically released Fantastic Four.
One thing that's kind of weird about it is that he looks... Am I wrong about this? He looks like he somehow rather shrank. Like, he seemed a lot taller before.
Yeah. Are we doing this fisheye lens for some reason?
It might just be because of how that's shot. I don't know. It's the transfer. The transfer makes him look shorter.
Yeah.
Acting. Emoting. He just does not look heavy enough for this to work.
I thought he looks pretty big.
You think? It's very Incredible Hulk TV show where you just have to imagine it bigger than it is.
Yeah.
So, like the Roger Corman Fantastic Four, we are spending too long on the origin stuff, of course.
You mean that Tim Story Fantastic Four?
That's what I meant to say, excuse me. And his saying, flame on and flame off, is actually the thing that makes it stop. Somehow.
I mean, I did. You didn't do much.
Is it magic? Is he a Power Ranger? What makes that...
Well, you know, there's some interpretations of Fantastic Four where it's slightly more mystical, where it's they represent the four elements.
Oh, okay.
She's wind, Johnny's fire, Ben is earth, and then Reed is water.
And there's no heart, so we can't have Captain
No, it's the four elements. After everything he's seen, that's what makes him
That's
be like,
that freaks him out? Yeah, he starts with a giant rock creature that he doesn't really seem remotely terrified by.
That seems unnecessary.
Although the stretchiness. That looks cool.
He also seems like real like beat and lazy. Just like, all right, I would do that if I had stretching.
Doom's Castle looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does. You know what? If this was a TV movie,
it's cool.
In 1976,
yeah,
people would talk about this.
Yeah,
like it was the best thing Marvel ever did on TV.
If you compare this, and that's the thing, is just you think about this as a theatrical movie, and it looks embarrassing.
If you compare
for its time, it looks embarrassing.
If you compare this to the Hulk pilot, to the Spider-Man pilot,
it is every bit as good as those. At least,
and it's closer to the comics.
At least production-wise, and making it like the comics.
There's actually a villain. Like, no, this kind of
because of course the Incredible Hulk
is
at the same time. A more serious thing, and it's not especially comic book, and people took it really seriously. But this isn't a thing that you would want to take too seriously.
Well, and Spider-Man is not super serious, but there are no villains in Spider-Man,
right?
And it's not particularly comic booky. What?
The food must be taken apart by must be three completely and absolutely certain.
Oh!
Preparations must be made on our way. He actually said that. Well, probably not on our way. That's probably not what he said.
But yeah, if this was made 20 years earlier for TV...
Immediate supervillain team up.
Yeah.
right away.
If this was made for TV 20 years earlier, it's people will look back on this really fondly.
Yeah, it would have been like a forgotten gem or something.
Yeah. Whatever this 20 years makes.
We've got like the Otis theme from Superman.
Yeah.
The jeweler wants his own state called Jewelerberg.
Jewelerberg!
But Eric, my mother lives in Hackensack.
My father told me, get out. Before that. I've always liked that line.
Me too. And then he says it again in Superman Returns.
Yep. No, and it's bad.
So,
and he would is why bring it.
So the pacing here is real. It's really out of clip, yeah.
But is it any more out of clip than the Tim Story version?
Yes, because that at least is more. And I mean, I'm not saying this is what I would have done with it, but it's more like, you know, a joke every few seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a little bit more to hang on to. Yeah. There. I mean, I like the tone of those movies. Okay, for a Fantastic Four thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just that we're.
It'll be interesting to get.
There's not enough story being told.
I haven't seen those in a long time. I think the last time I watched Fantastic Four movies is when we did that like Marvel roundtable thing on my channel.
Yeah.
I think that's the last time I watched those. I think I came out pretty defensively for those. As being like a real good like family superhero film.
The first one's a lot better than the second one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
But you're right. I mean, it's okay as a family film. We'll talk about that when we get to it. But this
also is okay as a family film.
I guess if you could get a better transfer, you're not going to get families to watch this.
You could
like this, probably.
Well, not like this.
I blame the What do you want me to do?
We don't move 41.
The diamond is our big MacGuffin thing.
Yeah.
You gotta have one of those.
Oh, that's why their ship didn't work, is because he switched it.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. That guy thought he was Alan Rickman, didn't he?
You know, a lot of people have that problem. A lot of people think they're Alan Rickman.
2 years of my life, I kept showing up on set for the Harry Potter movies, and they kept
telling me,
"You're not
get
Alan
out."
Rickman.
Yeah, and you kept trying to do the voiceover in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy for Marvin the Paranoid Android. They were like, "What are you doing here? You do this every time Alan Rickman has a movie. How did you even find out where we were shooting and what the call time was?"
Unfortunately, I never have to worry about that again.
Too soon.
It was a year ago.
That was really sad, though.
It was. It really was.
He has no Alan Rickman impression either. It's not like Eric does an Alan Rickman.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's all about the children. I don't know. I can't do that.
I mean, I can do an okay Marvin the Paranoid Android, but that's Alan Rickman doing the radio show voice. Like, you can tell it's Alan Rickman, but it's very much the performance of the radio plays.
I can do Alan Rickman in Die Hard when he's pretending to be an American. It kind of sounds like this.
Oh, good job. Eric's like, what he's really saying is that Alan Rickman was doing Eric before he was born. What is that? Did we just cut to commercial?
Is this RoboCop? Did you actually put RoboCop in?
Is this the 1994 version of The Matrix? What's going on?
No, that's called Ghost in the Shell.
Oh.
That's the 1994 version of The Matrix.
This looks like a music video to me.
It does. They lean in like it's the beginning of a musical, like I'm going to get credits on the side that say...
And it's kind of Fish Islands-y. Oh, they were on a screen. Okay, I still love this matte painting.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
This is not the worst thing. I was going to make that same joke. I don't think you need me, honestly. Like,
no, we saw...
This is my favorite part. It flips, there's sound effects of punching,
yep.
and they're on the ground. It's the best.
And they're in their costume.
They could not shoot an egg. And when they try to do some fisticuffs, it's even funnier than that. But that's my favorite thing, is just flipping around. This is not a sitcom, you know, like...
Well... I'm pretty sure...
The Tim Story movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure the Tim Story movie was a.
That's what we should do with it. That's what we haven't tried yet. Is we should take Fantastic Four and put it on TV and just make it a sitcom. And I don't know if I'm joking.
We really liked the first episode of the animated one from the 2000s.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
and it's not especially jokey.
No, except for Johnny.
It takes itself kind of seriously, but not in a bad way. Like, we're just spending this time to talk about every other Fantastic Four thing we've ever seen.
Well, nothing's happening.
But that show is like, I don't know, it's real cool and sleek looking.
Yeah, it's got really cool. I really like their Doctor Doom design. And
they have all the really cool over the top super science and stuff.
It's been a while since we watched that, but I think I liked his voice too.
I wish they'd done Galactus in that show. I don't think they did.
I don't think they did. They did Ronan.
Yeah,
the
which
Accuser.
Is interesting. And he's probably way cooler than he is in Guardians.
He probably is.
We should watch more of that.
We should.
I really enjoyed that.
We should do more.
I really enjoyed the
I would like to be a
visuals
Fantastic
of it.
Four fan.
Oh, see, I thought you were making fun of Duke for caring about Fantastic Four.
No! I just don't care. I would like to.
You want to care.
I want to care. I want to believe.
See, that was his stretchy hand, but you couldn't really tell.
Because of the transfer.
It kind of... right. Because of the transfer.
That's what I do every morning when I wake up.
It's clobbering time?
Just like, Captain America, or Captain Logan. I said Captain America. Captain Logan.
People make that mistake all the time, I know. I've got that physique and everything, I realize, but...
Well, I mean...
We have lost more doors that way, too. Every morning he gets up, he's like, it's clobbering time! And then... I gotta fix it all the time.
Oh, an atomic splitter.
How do the subtitles get that right?
Is that
but all this other stuff...
Is that what you've got hooked up, so you have all of your video game systems hooked up to the same TV?
Yeah, and I don't recommend it either.
Oh.
I'm sorry, what? I would have...
heard my name is Doom!
Must be the transfer. Multiple charming devices. Well, I'm not reading the subtitles right now.
We are dying and supreme, the beloved model.
See, this is what's great about these subtitles.
I'm not visit us, I'm trying to be patient.
None of us know what he's saying, and the subtitles are trying so hard to figure it out. No, 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 no! Oh, I'm rude of you! You know what he sounds like? He sounds like Dark Helmet.
Yeah, that's exactly what he sounds like.
And you're running off like naughty little children. Do you feel like you're in charge?
This movie immediately is better if they just
overdub that.
Yeah.
A lot of people still find this entirely unwatchable. I'm not one of them.
Mm.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to see somebody try to just straight up do a comic book like this.
Yeah.
Because at that time, we weren't doing that.
No. And we're still not doing that, really. I mean,
more than
the Marvel movies are...
The Marvel movies are getting closer. Yeah. And as I always say, mediums are different.
Your worst nightmare.
I'm your worst nightmare. I'm going to start talking like the Thing. I'm doing a commentary right now.
Come to this alive or dead. No value for me to make.
And see, you've got to ADR this too, because having all of the sound effects on the set just make this so silly. Every time he moves his hands, his fingers clink together. You notice that? So he just goes clink, 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 clink.
Oh, it's
Hut,
Doombots.
hut, hut,
Is that
hut,
Doombots?
hut, hut.
I hope it's Doombots.
It's not Doom bots. It's like Doom people.
That's less fun.
No, I don't think they're robots.
Does Dr. Doom ever do anything you don't want to acknowledge that he did? It was a Doombot.
That's right. But, like, they're programmed, so...
Yeah, is Club.
But, like, wouldn't Dr. Doom always be responsible for anything the Doombots that he programmed
Nope.
did? No? Okay. Alright.
We should do Books of Doom at some point. I looked it up.
What is that?
That is the... Ed Brubaker wrote a origin story for Dr. Doom.
Oh, interesting.
Or it's him recounting his origin. And it's great. It's 4 issues. And I looked it up, and that's out of print. It looks great. It's out of print, and it's expensive now, but I remember it being quite good. And that would give you a real... That's where most of my... comes from. You see how much time we have? Real enjoying like this. Let's just see how much longer we have. I'm just checking. Oh man, that was great.
Yeah, I'm loving this. I'm not checking my watch at all. No. No, I was just curious.
I kind of wish this guy a sequel with it.
Because every time I get to this part, I always think, oh, we're at the climax. No, we're not. That's great. The thing just comes right out the screen. And it's hysterical. I still say he looks better in close-ups. Oh no, don't back that off. Do not back that off.
Oh, that looks great.
Reed Richards just stuck his leg out and tripped a bunch of people. Are you being facetious when you say that?
I'm not sure.
See, I never minded it, and then when you get to the end and he starts flying around, it's a little much.
I know about that. That looked really good.
Him breaking through the wall.
Yeah, that didn't just look like open styrofoam, and it looked like...
And you should know, because every morning...
Yeah,
you do that at our house.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, if people wonder... if people ever wonder what I'm doing when I'm not making videos, I'm cleaning rubble off the... No, wait a minute. We've not done that transfer anywhere else.
I want to make sure I understood that scene correctly.
Yeah, okay.
Did he leave the room, they beat everyone up and left, and then he came back into the room and was like, hey, guys! Oh...
It would have been great if
Is that what happened?
It would have been great if that's what he did, too. He was like,
oh. Hey, guys!
Hey, did you take care of my superpowered problem for me? I heard a lot of commotion, but I don't know who won. Okay, so I was going to complain about the transition with the Four coming at you, but I actually maybe kind of like it, because it's like now they're the Fantastic Four. You know, like they have their first big fight scene, and they all take out a bunch of Doom people, and then... Yeah, maybe I don't mind that.
Something. Something.
Why am I always so shy around you?
Please.
They've got so much chemistry on screen.
Please do an Independence Day. Please tell me that Why Am I So Shy Around You is going to lead to the climax of this film.
I don't think it does. Oh, wait, maybe it does. I forget. Uh-huh.
Yes!
Yep.
It is!
Yep, that's what they did. Sorry, I knew about this, but I wasn't connecting that to what you were talking about. But yeah, it's all connected to emotion. So how do you explain the thing? You're so rocky. You're so rock hard. If you just...
Oh, that's mean.
What?
Too many things. Ben.
So, like, I kind of like how they try to play everybody getting powers is kind of tragic, and then now they're trying to see the silver lining in it, as opposed to just staying real brutish about it the whole time. Because that's kind of what we try to do with the new one.
Holy
in
Freud
making it more
Batman.
serious. Only Freud Batman, you're right, okay, except that the three of us go back to normal. And now it's what she's actually saying. Mostly. Anyway.
I'm going to freak.
At some point.
Due to the point.
So, do you think any of... Which of these four performances is so far the standout performance, Eric?
Reed Richards isn't terrible.
He's not. And Susan is too ditzy, but she's not awful either. And she's pretty. I mean, like the casting choice is all right, I guess.
Yeah.
For the character they're making up here. I do kind of like at least the idea of what
Looks
we do
like
with
a
the
big
thing
rock
here.
guy in a trench coat.
I wish he flipped over a car. That'd be great. But yeah, I do kind of like the idea of the thing is the outcast, and then okay, and now this is in slow motion for no reason.
Well, obviously that's big Lee Kirby stuff.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say is he'll kind of try to join the other outcasts in the city, which is kind of a cool angle, I think. He's looking for another family. I kind of like that.
Yeah, but
I don't care what you want.
his lips looked real stretched there.
Yeah.
That might be a transfer.
I'm sure that's not. Okay, the problem with that is that the doctor earlier was not at all fazed by him in a perfectly lit room.
Well, but he knew what he was getting into.
Sort of. Nobody told him that Sue Storm was going to turn invisible?
Well, they have costumes.
They do move in reverse. What are you pointing at?
Do you see it?
I don't know what you're pointing at. What?
The subtitles. Oh, you missed it.
No, I wasn't looking at the subtitles.
Well,
What about it?
I can't say it.
Oh, okay. It was something you can't say?
Yeah, it's something I can't
Oh,
say.
okay. Was it like profanity?
Yeah, it was great. It was the word.
See, Eric tends to react to things on screen that he thinks are absolutely hysterical, and I have no idea what he's talking about. It's just a normal thing on a screen. So I was looking all over the screen for whatever weird thing you thought. I thought you were just pointing at her costume.
No.
Like, do you see that? Yeah, she's wearing a costume. With way too big of a collar. And those fours are so big, I can only imagine what they look like off camera. Because anything on camera looks smaller than it actually is. So they clearly made that four enormous because they thought it needed to be that big. So maybe it's the transfer. But I'm just imagining it's just like even bigger four. I'll take you home again, Kathleen. You know, at least this whole movie is this melodramatic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think...
It's tonally consistent.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it's totally uneven.
0.4 for this over the theatrically released Fantastic Four films.
Mm-hmm.
This may be the best Fantastic Four film.
I don't think it is. I think Tim Story's is still marginally better.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it just depends on what categories we're talking about. Because the performances are better in that movie.
But isn't that weird that this is, like, legendarily bad, and Tim Story's is marginally better than this?
Yeah. And, of course, at the time, it felt like, oh, good, somebody finally made a good big-budget movie, because... I mean, a lot of people didn't really care for it, but it wasn't hated like it seems to kind of be now.
Yeah. I feel like it's more forgotten now. I don't feel like
when
it comes
people
up,
bring it up, it tends to be,
those Fantastic Four movies.
they're all bad. There's not a good one.
Yeah.
And that's fair. I mean, like, it's not
good,
but it's
not offensively bad.
Yeah. I liked it a lot more when it came out.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
It's a lot like Daredevil in that way.
I don't think I really
it's what I always refer to as the growing pains of the evolution of superhero movies. And it was weird because at the time I was already calling it the onslaught. We were getting superhero movies every year. I was like, this is the superhero onslaught. No, the onslaught is now. The onslaught is 3 movies every year from both studios.
So I don't think it's that he's not big enough. I think the problem is his chest piece is too big and it makes his arms look small.
And his head looks small.
Yeah.
But he's still not... I still swear he looked taller somehow when he was in human form.
He's towering over these people.
He's towering over the jeweler because he's like 4.5 feet tall.
He's taller than anyone else on screen right now.
But he's not anything like tall enough compared to the jeweler who already has people towering over him. At the beginning of the movie, when you see...
It's the same actor!
I know, that's why it doesn't make any sense. Is it the same actor? Are we sure about that? I think so. I mean, I've never heard anybody say that there was somebody else playing the Thing, but I'm telling you, he looked taller next to Reed Richards out of the makeup than he does now. Maybe I'm a crazy person. I'm just saying I'm just reacting to what I was seeing on screen.
No questions, right? Very cool.
That fire was not real fire.
Yeah.
But that's because part of that set was, I don't think, a real set.
I think most of that set was not a real set. I think they made a chair.
But the design of it is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you made a chair. And now that Eric has pointed out, I can't unsee it. I want to know what the heck that is in the background. The big blue thing. What does it do? Is it a reactor? Is it like the atomic pile in 60s Batman?
Well, that 4 is way too low.
Yeah.
The 4 should be here. It's down here.
Yeah, and that's because it's got the big crazy white that goes all the way down. The big crazy white. The white goes too far down.
And it's big and crazy. Was that filing cabinet in a wall? Did I see that correctly?
Are those stairs?
I don't know. Where did the stairs go?
Where do the stairs go? That was the transfer. That's supposed to be music, I think. Boom! Boosh! Ah!
Ooh.
You know, I'll say it like this. If this was a fan film, this is an amazing fan film.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Ah! There's a lot of screaming people falling in this movie.
Yeah, I don't think we could make this movie.
No, and we think we can make Dr. Mordred too.
Yeah.
We think that could be done.
This movie, not so much.
There are some decently sized sets in this and stuff, and I don't know how much of this is location shooting or what, but for a movie we're just throwing together so that we can hang on to the rights and stuff. It's kind of surprising that somebody seems to like this material.
Yeah. I mean, Doctor Doom looks perfect. He looks just like comic book Doctor Doom.
Yeah. I don't like that his chin moves when he talks.
Yeah.
I'm not in love with that.
That's more probably the shoddy material that they made the mask out of.
Yeah, or they just didn't build it right where it's like... Because I think it's in 2 pieces, so you can kind of see the chin. Or maybe they intentionally made it so the chin moves, I can't tell. It's the transfer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I would build that so that the mask goes, all the way under the chin.
Yeah.
And there's already dissension in the ranks, Eric.
Stop, Buttergrove!
This score is really sci-fi serial, right?
Yeah. Which is
kind of appropriate for what they're making.
Yeah.
Like, is it a throwback to that, or are we just kind of making one of those? It kind of feels that way.
It does kind of feel that way.
Bum ba bum bum ba bum 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 bum. Like, it's that kind of thing.
It said Mr. Grimm, but the subtitle said Mr. Griffin.
Come get her, Mr. Griffin. And another standard. Did she just go, I love you?
She did, but have they met?
And then he should go, I know. Yeah, they did. And
I mean,
he can power
as a
down.
Man?
Oh. Well, okay, but he knows that that's Ben Grimm. So it doesn't matter if they've met, because she knows from that that's who that is. I guess.
Okay. So
he's able to power down.
Because he feels love, he's not a rock monster?
Yeah, because it's all tied to emotion.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No.
Shut it. Shush, you. We're reading subtitles again.
I've been doing that this whole movie.
Yeah.
If I were saying just nonsense, I'd probably read the subtitles.
Yeah, because this kind of just makes him the Hulk, sort of.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, he still has his intellect and stuff, and that's just really silly. That was a good transformation.
Oh, I guess I can go save her now. Is he missing a finger on each hand? Does he only have 3 fingers?
No, I think they're just nubby.
Okay.
Or maybe
he just do this. Hello. I'm pretty sure he went hello.
That's how Dr. Doom introduces himself to people on Skype. He's like, hello! Sorry, what?
The garment?
Okay, that said garment, but what he said sounded a lot like garment. So, he totally looks like he is.
By the way, that later you sew, it's finished
with his
now.
index fingers. He's like, "Grr." Okay, I cannot decide at this point if the clankiness of the gloves is actually because they're using microphones on set, or if they are adding that on purpose. But you'd think if they were adding any sound effects, they would have ADR'd it. Except this one might be... See, I think it's inconsistent. I think sometimes it is recorded in post, and sometimes it's not. Because some of that was more easily understood.
But it also sounds like they had him come in and wear the mask to ADR it.
Okay, so Ben Grimm is a lot less of a tragic character if he can just power down, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely.
If he's like, oh, I'm not like you could go out in public. No, there's no difference at that point between you and Susan Storm.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Figure out your age issues, as she has to figure out her insecurities. And here's what's weird. Maybe part of the problem is just I like him as a really tragic character that can't change.
Right.
And that's classically a thing that Dr. Doom can try to manipulate him with.
Right.
But I do kind of like the idea with Susan Storm that if she was too unsure of herself, you'd never be able to see her, and she has to figure out her confidence issues. It's sappy and on the nose. I don't know, but
it feels like a thing you could do subtly and not
more subtly
in the script. Say, you're insecure, therefore you cannot be seen.
Yeah, I don't want to tie it together exactly that way, because then it's the Spider-Man 2 thing, and I always make fun of that.
Yeah.
And they already have the Fantastic Arm.
Well, I mean, he's been an inventor, but the building already says 4444. I think.
I guess I don't know exactly how much time has passed since they got their costumes. Yeah, a little too Raph. That's great.
Before Which Way the Bedroom, that way.
This could have been a fun TV show that's like a cartoon in live action.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that wouldn't have happened because of how this movie gets made.
If they leaned into it more, this could have been a slightly more serious Batman 66.
Yeah. And I'll even go as far as to say that they're doing an okay job of having, like, characters that play everything straight and don't realize how silly their world is.
Yeah.
I think they're handling that okay.
He says pitiful, you are pitiful, but the subtitles say beautiful, you are beautiful. The fun is the chicks.
The fun is the chicks you brought me. Even that are well, I believe. You left the pleasure of the killed. That is, of course, after I've taken from you what I want.
That last bit made sense.
Y'alls. I added that part.
No, I'm Dr. Doom.
I'm not for the last time, I'm not Colossus. Us people wearing metal armor do not all look the same. I am not Lawrence Fishburne.
Although, the Dr. Doom in the Tim Story version is kind of Colossus with lightning powers.
Well, that's sort of true, yeah. My family.
But I am today. Is he salsa dancing?
I love all the theatricality. This guy's having a lot of fun with this.
I think. Say it!
Say it!
Review!
Review! Anywhere!
That should be...
Is he making a commercial for, like... is he making a commercial for cell phones? Like making videos for YouTube? Review! Anywhere!
That should be Geekvolution's slogan.
Review anywhere?
Review anywhere.
Review anywhere. Well, and there's also that other new slogan we came up with that we're going to put on the t-shirts.
Yeah.
About stupid ideas.
Yeah.
Watch my nerd kill the one who came to lock you. Okay, to lock you. Came to lock you. Up. Yeah!
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 If...
This is getting insane! Like, it just keeps going. I want him to shoot lasers out of his fingers. That's a thing I wish we were doing. And it'd be cool if he had, like, a syringe in one. Or maybe he died. I'm not... I don't think he does
the transfer!
Begin the transfer! This is so much fun.
Yeah.
Now it's green kryptonite. Oh, they're getting hit with kryptonite. What new powers are they gonna get? If you mix
death,
kryptonite,
cancer.
if you mix kryptonite and invisible power, what do you get? What is that? What other power does that give you? I think I'm with you though. I think it's cancer and or death. The least valuable player in this, though, has got to be Johnny Storm. But I love that face. Ah!
Oh, he slipped out underneath of it. How clever!
It's almost worth some of the boring scenes to get this really, really silly climax.
Did Johnny Storm just fall down?
He tripped over a stair, I think. Did you just say it's morphin' time?
No, he said it's clobbering time, and that would be all right if that was the first time he said it.
He said it like 5 times, yeah. Although, it is nice not to have, like, the token line one time where it's like, oh, we're just giving that to the fans. Where it's like, we know the thing is supposed to say it's clobbering time, so he says it.
I like that he fights like a boxer.
And I don't mind that it doesn't come from anywhere. That's kind of refreshing, too. I mean, retroactively refreshing. We didn't have anything to compare it to yet, but...
But the thing fights like a boxer, and that's kind of nice. That I think that's how he would fight. I like that.
Yeah.
Or that's a...
I mean, his hands are goofy, but...
Yeah. Or at least in that opening, he was fighting like a boxer.
Yeah.
Less so now.
That is really theatrical button pushing.
If you're gonna push buttons, do it theatrically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you gotta go,
I think I was real
go
funny.
with a smile. Look, she's got her force field.
Yeah.
And it just
too.
looks like a big piece of plastic. I'm sure that comes from her confidence.
Yeah.
She has confident force fields.
Gonna fire me?
What was Reed's explanation for why he has stretchy powers connected
He's
to
always
his
stretching
emotional?
himself too thin.
See, that's ridiculous. Even for this material, that's really silly.
Oh, here it comes. Here it is.
Like, does he have to think the way he thinks when he stretches himself too thin to make his stretchy powers work? Like,
I don't know.
Da-da-da-da.
I'm the Lizard King.
I can't see you, so I don't know why I'm reacting like this is a really intense moment. Oh yeah, they are just meeting. Just now, for the first time.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Sometimes it just says the boys.
Yeah, the boys of summer. I added that part. It's nice to meet here.
That was an uncomfortable read.
Well, and again, it's weird because he can just power down.
Yeah.
And he's just a person. There should be more screen time between them. Because this is supposed to be a rivalry. With Reed and Victor.
Oh, he's got 9
cool!
fingers! You can't stab rubber! You fool!
This is absolutely the most fun I've ever had watching this. Got him in the face! That looked like an amusing practical effect. I don't know what exactly they did with that, but it was real Stretch Armstrong. Or, like... Ah!
Oh no, he fell down and go boom. Oh no, he didn't go boom, he grabbed on the side.
Oh, here it comes.
So, this looks real bad,
Yeah.
but it looks about the level of, like, the VR episodes of Johnny Quest.
No, that's
or
true,
Reboot.
yeah.
Like, it is
Reboot.
on par with the television
I was-
CGI at the time.
I was gonna say Beast Wars.
Write the final note to you after 10 years ago.
He is Dark Helmet! Dr. Doom always drinks coffee when he's watching Radar.
As you can see, evil always wins.
Stop
because good
speechifying.
is dumb.
You're about to become...
Is this a whole hand come off?
I'm laughing while I'm dying.
Here's to the future, my
I
friend.
love this
That's
score here.
actually
It's great.
kind of a scene, a nice little scene. Like, in a better shot and acted movie, that's kind of a cool ending.
Yeah.
Here's to the future, my friend. That's a good line. Then he falls.
Yeah.
I like that. And he has his whole hand there. He gave him a hand.
Lend me a hand!
Please just throw it off the side.
And like,
Oh, I put it down. I
and he's walking away. No, I would take that with me.
Yeah. It's gonna move.
And I mean, it is kind of cliche. It is kind of a cliche even at this point.
Yeah, I knew it.
It's moving. To have your villain, fall off the side of a building like that, but Superman!
Yeah.
Oh. Ah!
Oh man, he's
Human
real
Torch is
heroic.
having a bad day. And now all of a sudden the score and the animation is just a Fleischer cartoon.
Yeah. I was about to say it looks Fleischer.
Da-da-da!
I bet that's what they're channeling. I bet you that's intentional. It has to be intentional, right? This is them doing a
I
modern
would go as
Fleischer
far as to
cartoon.
say that that's probably rotoscope. That's
Yeah.
probably how they did that.
Yeah.
I don't know that for sure. Woo! That time he actually did say yeah. That is the first
Yeah.
time it said yeah on screen and a person said yeah.
Well, he was in space. I thought he was in the city.
And that score stole from like 3 movies right there.
Yeah.
Or 3 things right there. There was...
Yeah, wow.
Wasn't that weird? It was Fleischer, and then it leads into the end of John Williams' Superman score, and now we're back to Jurassic Park. Da-da-da! Da-da-da! That's also John Williams. Na-na-na-na! Oh. It's still kind of Jurassic Park.
I don't think they were going to kiss, because they got married, but they didn't. We'll try not to get into trouble.
You know, in that crowd, I was looking for Marvel characters, but I couldn't find any.
Yeah. that's what I've seen. Yeah.
With his hand
out
waving.
His hand.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah. Isn't that great? I really expected to see more dinosaurs with this score, honestly.
So that wasn't the worst thing.
Yeah. It's more
like
fun
it.
as it goes along.
Yeah.
It's a real slow burn.
Yeah, and I feel like a sequel would have been really fun because they would have just...
It kind of feels like a real Fantastic Four thing, except...
The jeweler could have been cut entirely.
Entirely.
Yeah.
Entirely a little bit. That's good. And also, it's still saying yeah. But also...
It's the music. That's got to be what it's picking up.
It's saying yeah. Na-na-na.
Yeah, but that was fun.
Na-na.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That's almost as legitimate a story and characters as the Tim Story version.
Yeah.
And probably more so than Fan Force
The biggest misstep is coming right out and saying, oh, you're a hothead, so you turn on... Like, just have those character traits be there inherently. And not every Fantastic Four thing... Like has those powers necessarily reflect character traits that much, right? Like that would have been an angle for this. I don't see Susan Storm as an especially mousy character.
Neither do I.
So you could play her that way.
I mean, Johnny the hothead thing is obviously
like. Wouldn't it be really cool if we played more of a reveal out of the force fields at the end, and we just made that again more of a symbolic thing of she has a character arc where she gets more confident, and so now she's doing that instead of turning invisible. But then it's weird because if after that every time she's invisible it's supposed to be indicative of not directly tied to biologically, but indicative of her mousiness, then
that's why you don't
she can't be invisible.
Say that.
Yeah.
You just let it happen.
And then you just let it happen. Yeah. And then that's probably okay.
Yeah.
Johnny Storm's always going to be a hothead. He's supposed to be that.
And he never untransforms into the Thing again.
Yeah, like did we miss something? Because I couldn't remember if
shockingly Roger Corman's Fantastic Four is not a perfect movie.
When I from before, I couldn't remember if there was something that turned him back for a minute, or if it was because he wasn't angry. But I think it is that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just trying to decide if there was something we missed or something, but I think that's all it is.
Special thanks. I can't read them because of the transfer.
The transfer is somewhat problematic.
Ultra stereo.
But the biggest thing I picked up on this time that I hadn't before was the weirdness of that Superman homage stuff in the score at the end. That was really weird.
Yeah.
Because it does that bombastic like thing
and
at the end of the
it looks like
Superman
Fleischer
score.
when Superman's punching
and then it's
the
Fleischer.
laser.
Yeah, that's so weird.
And it's gotta be intentional.
That stuff is.
I wish it said the Fantastic Four will return.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, that was a nice little piano bit.
Yeah.
There. Yeah. I feel all warm and fuzzy inside. It's a feel-good movie.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, thanks very much for watching. We sure appreciate it. And this concludes day 4 of Marvel Mania. We will see you again tomorrow for the first Blade film. Jumping all the way to Blade. Nothing between 94 and 99.
Yeah. Lots on TV.
That's 99, is it not?
X-Men's 99, Blade's 98.
X-Men's 2000.
X-Men's 2000?
Yeah, I always think of it that way too, and I get that wrong all the time.
Then maybe Blade is 99.
Yeah.
It comes out right before The Matrix.
Yeah, so it's like the same year right before it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're doing that tomorrow, and this will be the first time I've seen Blade in probably 8 years.
It'll be the first time I've seen the first Blade in a long time. I go back to 2 every once in a while, but I don't... Not that I dislike the first Blade, I just don't go back to it.
Yeah. Well, that's a testament to the sequel, because Blade's good, Blade 2 is better.
Yeah, yeah. When would you ever sit down and watch Blade when you could watch Blade 2?
Yeah, unless you wanted to watch them both together. And if we had gotten a really good Blade 3, then that would be a trilogy binge every time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But one of the reasons that I don't think to go back and watch Blade 1 and 2 together is that I find myself being a completionist a lot with things, and I would want to watch 3, but I don't want to watch 3.
Yeah.
Because I do that with The Matrix. For whatever reason, it would be harder with me with Trinity, even as not good as Matrix Revolutions is, but that's neither here nor there.
I've seen Trinity quite a few times.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I watch a lot of bad things multiple times when I was a teenager.
It's just not fun at all. Like,
I had fun with that as a teenager.
I mean, I've only seen it the one time when I wrote about it, but...
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thanks again for watching, folks. We sure appreciate it. We'll talk about Blade for you tomorrow, and in the meantime, I am Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
See you later.